Create your world. Create your world.
Fire, fire,
50 years. We're going to look at it from a dream to a legacy, and that basically, tagline is basically the tagline for the West Indian American Day Carnival Association's 50th year celebration, which is this year, of course. We're looking at from purpose to impact. And so there's a lot to cover. We're going to try our best to cover all of that information, which will include the past, the growth of the celebration, challenges which have been faced over the years and still are being faced, and then we're also going to discuss the future. So this symposium is in partnership with the Caribbean Heritage Month Committee, as well as the CLACSI organization, otherwise known as the Carlos Lazama Archives and Caribbean Cultural Center. And so, just a little on CLACSI for a minute. CLACSI was established as a nonprofit 501c3 corporation under the auspices of the University of the State of New York. CLACSI's mission is to educate communities regarding Caribbean heritage via the establishment of an institution devoted to research and education. The center promotes and preserves West Indian culture and history through the growth of our archive center dedicated to the legacy of Carlos Lazama, who worked tirelessly for over 30 years to promote the rich and unique culture of the Caribbean. He was also instrumental in uniting and fortifying the Caribbean American community by organizing the annual West Indian American Day Parade in Brooklyn during the Labor Day weekend. So, we also, CLACSI, have been involved in symposiums. We also have been involved in art displays. I serve on the committee's art program. And so, as you see, as we look around the room, and afterwards I ask if you can look around and check out some of the art that was done over the month by Michael Escoffery. He's a Jamaican artist, and we've had this beautiful work on display since the beginning of the month. So these are some of the things that we do. We've also gotten involved over the years in a summer camp, and this year coming up on August 26th, we will have our Children's Festival and Youth Pan Fest. What we've been doing over the years has been trying to promote the culture, the pan culture, and so we've had upwards of 10 different steel bands, youth steel bands. We give them prizes and so on to encourage them. And so it's all about the kids. I'd like to introduce our moderator at this time, Mr. Herman Smith. On his right, we have Chairman of the West Indian American Day Carnival Association, Miss Angela Seeley. On her right, we have the President of the Mass Committee, the Mass Association, Mr. Kenneth Antoine. Next, we have the President of the Steel Band Organization, Mr. Martin Douglas. And then, again, we have Mr. Joseph Placide, who served as the assistant to Mayor Jenkins. He's been very involved with the organization over the years, and he has a lot of information to share.
The occasion that speaks to the heritage and the legacy of Caribbean people in New York and in the world. And so we're so glad that we're here to celebrate our heritage. I also want to say how honored I am to be the moderators with such a distinguished group of pioneers who know this history. And so the only other thing I will say is I have to congratulate Yolanda because she is Caribbean Woman of the Year this year, and rightfully so, because as you know, the great thing about Yolanda is she is a giving person. She gives until it hurts, and so Yolanda, congratulations. And we have to remember people like Jessie Watt, who started the carnival back in the 1930s by holding events with his wife in his house in the costume parties. And certainly, you know, that blossomed into other events in Harlem up until 1964, when due to the riots, etc., in Harlem and incidents in Harlem, they were not able to get permits. And so, you know, that's an important part of the history to understand that although we're celebrating the 50 years in Brooklyn, it began some 80 years or so ago in Harlem. And so, you know, it's a very rich history going that far back. From 1964 to 67, Rufus Gorian brought Carnival to Brooklyn. And so we have to remember that iconic name as well, and I will be deferring to our speakers to talk more in depth about that. And then, of course, there's Carlos Lezama. And he was the pioneer who had the vision to expand it, to sustain it, and to keep it going up until today, 50 years. So we turn it over and ask Angela Seeley to give us some of her insights and her recollections on what she saw during the past that have brought us this far, 50 years.
Anyway, I got a call one day from Mr. Nizama. They were living on Dean Street. And he said to me, Angela, we are going to start the carnival in Brooklyn. And I said to him, what? He said, yes. So we did it. We started it. Rufus Gorian was the president at that time. Rufus Gorian is a man that made mass. He was a mass man. Every Sunday we will have a meeting at his house, and he was also a good cook. He will have us and have refreshments. So then one year, I think it was in 65, we had to get the permit, and we didn't have the permit, and they had us in one block. My brother was also a part of this. So we figured that Rufus wasn't doing the job, and we elected Mr. Carlos Lezama. Mr. Lezama lived, breathed, eat West Indian American people. He was determined to keep this carnival, to bring it to where it is for his 34 years. I know that today he's smiling down at us and saying, job well done. Right on. That he kept it. It was very, very hard. Very, very hard. At times we took our money to make this carnival a success on the parkway level. So many of you who might not know that we used to stay on the parkway 11, 12 o'clock in the night. 3 o'clock in the evening, 4 o'clock in the evening, you're looking down Eastern Parkway with no bands inside. And then you would see the bands coming down. And we would sit out there till every band comes down. And that's part of the history and the dedication. We don't get paid, we never got paid, but we wanted to bring this. And we never thought, I never thought that this parade would have been a success and to be a staple in America, that we come to be the largest outdoor festival. And it's not easy, ladies and gentlemen, it's not easy. We are not supported financially like we should by the city or the state or even our local politicians. What they give us is chicken feed, if you remember, because the budget is very high. So let me go back. After we left, we stayed on Prospect. 1 year we went down to Atlantic Avenue and we ended up in Prospect Hall. Then finally we got to come on the Parkway. And we started at Lincoln Terrace Park and we ended up in Prospect Park. And they made a mess of Prospect Park, and the mayor at that time was Lindsay. And they wanted us to pay to clean the park. Yes, they wanted us to pay to clean. And Reverend Farrakhan, he got involved and he said, no way. And as years go by, we continue to grow, struggle, heartaches, and we are here today. We are here today because we are dedicated to this. We want to see the culture in America.
Thank you so much. And so, Antoine to give us some of his insight.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, to me, the beginning was a struggle, and right now I'm proud and honored to be here with this 58 years. First of all, let me give you a little something on myself. In Trinidad, I was a band leader there. I was the youngest band leader in Trinidad. In 1987, I won the Best Designers Award and so forth. I used to bring a band. I went for about 10 years bringing small bands, and then I migrated to the United States. When I came here, my very good friend, Stephen Derrick, was bringing bands here. So I joined him. But I will tell you something. Labor Day has grown so large, you will not believe it. When I used to be in the Parkway with the other friend of mine, Maurice Stewart, there were like 4 or 5 bands. Ain't that much. Right now I'm sitting speaking. We have 4 organizations which I started. I'm the president of the band leaders. From that 4 or 5 bands, we have 40 adult bands. You all might not know this. We did not have much kids band before, and between we used to have a lesson for the kids. We have 43 kids band. So you see how far and how large we have grown. There was a little ups and downs, but we get in it here, and I'll be telling you something. Do not miss this celebration this year. I am a wire bender. I bend for many of the bands. And right now, a lot of them is talking about doing traditional stuff to celebrate our culture since it's 50 years.
Thank you, Mr. Antoine.
wanted to make pan tuning her career. So she learned to sing and groove band by Alan Juven. People start calling she hooligan and outcast. All the neighbors turn their heads whenever she pass. So her parents discourage her from being a pan tuner. Send her to America, very far from her culture. They say no pan in here. They tell she not here, my dear. You're crazy, no pan in here. They say no, 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 no pan in here. I'm sorry, not here, my dear. No pan, no pan, eh, eh. When they hear boom, bram, bram, boom, boom, they couldn't stand the song in their head. Boom, bram, boom. They say, girl, where did you get misled? Boom, bram, bram, boom, boom. They start calling she had out the shook. Plenty frustration and humiliation to learn to tune pan it took. Hey, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Day, 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 day. Oh yeah. She says she used to go spend time up Lavanti. Used to sit and chat with Pantuna, Uncle Spree. Spree Simon used to teach the chromatic scale to them young interested people up Lavender. Her parents discourage her from being a band tuner. Send her quite to Canada, away from her culture. No pan in here. They tell she not here, my dear. You're crazy, no pan in here. They say no, 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 no pan in here. I'm sorry, not here, my dear. No pan, eh, eh. When she play boom, bram, bram, boom, boom, they say, girl, you're making noise in we head. Boom, bram, boom. Lord, how this child got misled. Boom, bram, bram, boom, boom. They tell she go and take up a book. Was real frustration and condemnation to learn to tune pan it took. Hey, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. When she hear the kind of money pan tuners make, she knew that her mom and dad made a big mistake. When she learned that pan tuners are always in demand, was sorry that they didn't let her pursue her plan. Instead they discourage her from being a pan tuner. Send her quite to Australia, away from her culture. They say no pan in here. They tell she not here, my dear. You're crazy, no pan in here. They say no, 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 no pan in here. I'm sorry, not here, my dear. No pan, eh, eh. When they hear boom, bram, bram, boom, boom, they couldn't stand it.
I thank you, universe, for all the goodness you're bringing my way. I receive it, I accept it, and I thank you for it, and so it is.
I'm very interested in knowing how the camps have been sustained and how they have grown since the steel dance, how they have grown during that period of time.
Good evening. I'm the president of the Steelman Association. Steelman in Brooklyn have suffered tremendously through the years. We started with 5 Steelmans that brought mass to the country back in 1971. Now, hardly any Steelmans go to the factory because it's difficult. We have problems of practice space also. There are 10 bands going to Panorama, and it is called the second best Panorama in the world. But the difficulties to get the Panorama out of this program. He said, we get no funding, very low funding. It takes about $20,000 to pick up band to Panorama here in Brooklyn. And the first prize is $20,000. So the other bands are operating at a loss. We also have difficulties with the law. They come in at any time, and they shut you down, neighbors complain, whatever. Actually, I grew up in Trinidad. My Steelman career started in Trinidad in 1962. I was 40 years old. The culture came here in St. Water. I was still in Trinidad. I became an administrator in Stephen in 1974. I was the year with the basement. I was with a younger Stephen by the name of Phil. And I got a lot of experience from a guy by the name of Waddle. No relationship with the guy who started the Labor Day celebrations. And I grew up in Stephen administration. I was a member of Pancho Diego in 1975. And I got my experience to New York. I tried very hard. My band name is Crossfire. On August the 15th, we will begin our 19th year. In all these difficult times, practicing and going to the museum, coming out for Juve morning. Juve has changed tremendously. We had problems also because Juve morning, we had problems with shootings on Juve morning. We have been blamed for every inconceivable thing that has happened. Still, people have been blamed for it. If we have a jamboree in Wingate, somebody gets shot by the museum, these still bad people. You know? So it has been difficult to get things going here. But we are surviving by the hook and crook. So we'll be here again this year in our 50th anniversary, trying to make Panama a gala entertainment, gala achievement here. This year, 2017. At the Brooklyn Museum, September 7th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. So Mr. Placide, let's talk a little bit about the politics and the challenges as they relate to managing the parade with other communities. Tell us what you know.
Well, I will tell you, first of all, I'd like to just thank my dear friend, Hazrat Ali, who facilitated my participation on this panel today. And also a warm acknowledgement to Yolanda and to the Lazama family. I have a long and abiding relationship, and my relationship with the Lazama family has made my life infinitely richer. So I just wanted to begin with that. The politics of Carnival. I'll give you a short synopsis of the years 1989 through 1993. When David Dinkins, the 106th mayor of the city of New York, had among many responsibilities ensuring that Carnival and the attending programs, because Carnival, when we talk about Carnival, Carnival is not a one-day event. We planned in the mayor's office the day after Carnival, and I would get in about 10 o'clock in the morning. That was the latest that I could come to work during the year because I had been out all night on the Parkway. And we would start planning for the following year. It involved over 17 city agencies meeting on a regular basis beginning in September of the preceding year for the following year. And so I spent, along with my colleagues, meeting after meeting after meeting, planning with the Transportation Department, the Parks Department, the Corporation Counsel's office, and lo and behold, an office that people really don't think about when we think about Carnival, but it had a deep responsibility to track things, and that was the Mayor's Office of Economic Development. I think oftentimes people think about the cultural aspects of Carnival without really understanding the tremendous economic impact. The West Indian American Day Carnival is the largest one-day event in North America, period, hands down. And about a month prior to Carnival, we began receiving phone calls in the Mayor's press office from every economic-oriented magazine in the country and around the world, wanting to know what was the increases in subway traffic, hotel rooms, the amount of money that was spent in restaurants and bars, et cetera, et cetera. The economic impact of this Carnival and its attending events was really something that there was constant pressure on the Carnival year by year. Many people here remember when people could drink alcohol openly, whether you agree with that or not. And there were many other liberties that we were able to take. Year by year, it felt as if the oxygen was being sucked out of the carnival. Okay? Things were getting tighter and tighter, more difficult, more expensive, more rules, more regulations. And I was bouncing from one police plaza to the precinct, and from the precinct, it really got difficult for us. But ultimately, we were able to make things work. But I say that with an eye to the future, even though our council member, Ms. Cumbo, will talk about the future, that we have to be ever vigilant. Because the people that cannot preserve their culture will have no culture. And whatever the challenges might be, fiscal, political, or otherwise, we have to keep our eyes open and understand that things are changing beneath our feet. Communities don't look the way they looked like 20, 25 years ago. And so we have to keep our eyes open and understand how do we market correctly in 21st century language. What are we going to do going forward as things become even more difficult and there are more restrictions that are put upon us? There was reference made, obviously, and I'm going to stop in a second, there were references made, obviously, to incidents that took place during Gervais, during Carnival, etc. And we have to begin to, or continue actually, to reach out to people and get them to understand how important it is that we maintain peace and tranquility. Because ultimately, the buck will stop with the Carnival Association. I don't care how you cut it. Okay, it's always going to come back to the Carnival Association as the responsible party. So I hope that everyone in this room will put all their energies forward as the years go by to ensure that this precious living history continues to flourish and grow. Thank you.
Wanted to make pantun in her career, so she learned to sing and groove band by Alan Juven. People start calling she hooligan and outcast. All the neighbors turn their heads whenever she passes. So her parents discourage her from being a pantuner, send her to America, very far from her culture. They say no pan in here. They tell she not here, my dear. You're crazy, no pan in here. They say no, 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 no pan in here. I'm sorry, not here, my dear. No pan, When they hear boom, bram, bram, boom, boom, they couldn't stand the song in their head. Boom, bram, boom. They say, girl, where did you get misled? Boom, bram, bram, boom, boom. They start calling she a dirty schmuck. Plenty frustration and humiliation to learn to tune pan into. Hey, oh yeah. Chat with Pantuna, Uncle Spree Simon used to teach the chromatic scale to them young interested people of Lavender. But her parents discourage her from being a Pantuna, send her quite to Canada, away from her culture. No pan in here. They tell she not here, my dear. You're crazy, no pan in here. They say no, 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 no pan in here. Sorry, not here, my dear. No pan, When she play boom, bram, bram, boom, boom, it's a girl you're making noise in we head. Boom, bram, boom. Lord, how this child got misled. Boom, bram, bram, boom, boom. Until she go and take up a book, was real frustration and condemnation to learn to tune pan into. Hey.